everything that has to do with health, health talk, health tips, motivational tips to mention but a few. So you're welcome to my channel. If this is your very first time, please don't forget to watch this video, press the like button, leave your questions behind with me, and hey, don't forget to hit that word subscribe and also press the notification bell. Thanks so much for coming around. So today we're going to be talking about something very important, something interesting, but most times people don't really pay attention to it, and that doesn't stop the fact that it doesn't exist. So today I'll be talking about hypotension. Yes, today I'll be talking about the word hypotension. So when we talk about tension is the pressure, you know, the pressure in the blood circulating around the body. So when the pressure is so much, that is hypertension. When the pressure is low, that is hypotension. We could also have the average range. Okay, so now hypotension as it is now, for the blood level we have the systole and the diastole, and like we all know, from 100 to 140 milliliter mercury is the normal range for the systole, and then 50 to 90 is the normal range for the diastole. And people, most times people will tell you a blood pressure of 100 over 80 is ideal. Yes, but the range is 100 to 140 for systole, and then 50 to 90 for diastole. Then it now depends on your age, okay, but that's the normal range. Now when this pressure is low, that is hypotension. That means the pressure in the blood circulating around the body, the pressure with which the blood is circulating around the body is actually low. That is hypotension, and that is usually when it is below 90 for the systole and below 60 for the diastole. Now we have four types of hypotension. The first one is the postural or orthostatic hypotension, and this one is a sudden drop in the blood pressure when standing from a sitting position or from a lying position. So maybe someone that has been seated for so long, has lied down for so long, maybe the person has been sick and has been lying down for 2 months, 3 months, the person could rise up, and postural hypotension could set in. And causes include dehydration, don't drink enough water, long-term bed rest, like I said. It could also occur during pregnancy. Postural hypotension could occur during pregnancy, and certain medical conditions and even some medications, could result into postural hypotension, and this type is common in older adults. That's postural hypotension. The second one is postprandial hypotension. This one occurs 1 to 2 hours after meal. So maybe 1 hour after meal, the blood pressure of the person will drop, or 2 hours after meal, and it's most likely to also affect older adults, especially those that have high blood pressure and other conditions like Parkinson's disease. That is postprandial hypotension. The third one is the neurally mediated hypotension. This one is common among young adults and children, and it usually occurs after standing for long period of time. Standing for so long, and before you know, the blood pressure could actually drop. So it's a kind of a miscommunication between the brain and the heart. That one is common among children and young adults. They want to walk about, they want to play, they don't want to rest. Neurally mediated hypotension. And the last one is the multiple system atrophy with the postural hypotension. This one is multiple, different type of things come into place, okay, and it has to do with, it is a rare disorder that really affects the nervous system that controls the involuntary functions like the blinking of the eyes, digestion, heart rate, breathing, to mention but a few. Now we know that we have 4 types of hypotension. And what are the symptoms? How do you know, okay, I'm battling with hypotension, okay, this thing that is wrong with me is hypotension? Is it hypotension? Is it hypertension? The funniest thing is that the symptoms of hypotension and hypertension could be quite similar. Yes, the symptoms could be quite similar, But then when it is below the normal range, you know it is hypotension. And when it is above, you know that it is hypertension. So number one is blood and fading vision. Oh, I can't see well. All of a sudden, you just see that you are always having this blood vision, blood vision. Number two is dizziness or lightheadedness. Always dizzy, 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 or lightheadedness. It could be a sign of hypotension. Number three is fainting, fainting and fainting every time. Number four is fatigue, too easily tired every time. You do a little work, you are tired. You don't even stress that much, you are tired. Fatigue. Then we also have nausea and trouble in concentrating. Now, hypotension could actually be a sign of an underlying sickness for some other people. And you don't want to joke with hypotension, because a sudden drop or fall in the blood pressure could actually be dangerous. For example, a drop in your systole by 20 could actually cause dizziness. So maybe your systole drops to 80 or your systole drops to 70. That is the upper boundary of your blood pressure. This could actually result into dizziness and fainting. So can you see that we really need to be paying attention to both hyper and hypotension? So now, that is just a little drop of like 20. Big drops, such as those that are as a result of uncontrolled bleeding or severe infection, allergic reactions, could actually be life threatening. So big drops in your blood pressure could be life threatening. And then we have the extreme one. Extreme low pressures could result into shock. And shock is characterized by, the person is breathing, but it is rapid and weak. It's not strong. It's not a deep breath. It is rapid, but it's a weak breath. The person has weak but rapid pulse too. At the same time, the person becomes pale. The skin coloration changes. The person looks pale. Then cold, clammy skin. Then you see the person saying uncoordinated words, kind of confused. Those are symptoms of shock, and it could be as a result of low blood pressure too. Now, that doesn't mean that every dizziness is as a result of low blood pressure. No. Dizziness, lightheadedness could also result from certain factors like staying too long under the sun. Like the head is out already. So that could actually result into this. So you want to actually be sure for what is responsible for your dizziness, whether it is hypotension or it is you staying long in the sun. So you need to carry your doctor along with whatsoever is happening in your body. However, the extreme symptoms, like I said, like shock, those ones require urgent medical attention. Now, most doctors, consider blood pressure to be too low only when it is associated with symptoms. So even if you say, hey, doctor, my blood pressure is 10%, 10 millimeter mercury down, 20, they'll just look at you, okay, what are the symptoms? So if you say, I don't have any symptoms, just that I carried my machine and I checked and I saw that is this, the doctor may not pay serious attention to it. But when it is associated with those symptoms, like I said, then you see him paying attention to the fact that your blood pressure is low. Now, there are medical conditions that could also result into low blood pressure, like pregnancy. Yes, a lot of things happen during pregnancy. So, in the first 24 weeks, the blood vessels expand anyhow. They expand anyhow. So, hypotension could set in during pregnancy. Those that have heart and valve conditions like heart attack, heart disease, heart valves, issues, they could also have hypotension. Then hormone related diseases like diabetes. So if somebody is diabetic, that's you have too much glucose, sugar circulating in the bloodstream. Such a person could also have low blood pressure. We have Addison's disease, to mention but a few. Another thing is dehydration. So when the body doesn't have enough water, permit me to tell you that there's water in your blood. So when you don't have enough water, how do you have enough water in your blood? And blood is circulating around the body, because the body needs blood at every point in time. So when you are not taking enough water, you are indirectly reducing your blood volume. Okay, so dehydration to low blood pressure could result from dehydration. And symptoms, dehydration, how do you get dehydrated? from fever, from diarrhea, excessive diarrhea, from vomiting, from strenuous exercise without, replenishing the water you are sweating. Because when you are engaging in exercise, you are sweating, but then you don't replace the water. So when you're involved in strenuous exercise, don't forget to drink water. So dehydration could result into low blood pressure because you don't have enough water, and your blood needs water because there's water in the blood, and the blood needs to circulate. Another thing that could cause the hypotension is bleeding too. Yes, blood loss, for example, bleeding, severe allergic reactions like anaphylaxis, lack of certain nutrients. Yes, this is very, very important. Lack of certain nutrients like low levels of vitamin B12, low levels of folate, and low levels of iron. So when one has low levels of these three compounds, B12, vitamin B12, folate, iron, they can keep, the blood from producing enough red blood cells, and anemia could set in. Okay? Anemia could set in, blood volume could be low, blood pressure also could be actually be low. So you actually want to watch what to take in, because garbage in, garbage out. There are some medications that could also lower the blood pressure, like water pills, diuretics generally, alpha blockers, beta blockers. So even certain drugs for erectile dysfunction, especially if the person has heart issues, they could actually result into low blood pressure, which is hypotension. But generally, the risk factors are your age. Yes, the age matters when it comes to hypotension, medications that you take, even some blood pressure drugs. When the doctor says stop using it, you say, no, I want to continue, it's working for me. It could result into hypotension and certain diseases, like I said, diabetes and some heart conditions could result. So if diabetes could contribute to low blood pressure, you want to watch your intake. You want to make sure that you regulate your intake of especially junks, foods that are high in fat, salt, and sugar. Especially sugar, salt, fats. Because these are the things that gives birth to diabetes. And you want to kind of feed on a balanced diet, not carbohydrate every time, especially high carbs every time, because all this will lead to, over time, lead to insulin resistance, and then diabetes. So much glucose, so much sugar will be left circulating in the blood, which is dangerous for the body. And like I said, it could also contribute to low blood pressure. So now, it doesn't mean that you wake up in the morning, my blood pressure is this, or in the night, my blood. No. Certain factors could affect the range of the blood pressure. Number one is, for example, the time of the day. Okay? So you can't expect your blood pressure in the day. Maybe you wake up early in the morning, it might not be the same in the night. Okay? So the blood pressure is always lowest at night, and then it rises sharply in the morning. So you say, my blood pressure is so low, this is hypotension. No. So it goes down at night, then it rises again in the morning. Number two is the food and drinks that you take too. That is why I keep on saying junks, HFSS foods. Those are foods that are high in fat, in salt, and in sugar. Yeah, you want to limit your intake of those kind of foods. That is the food and you drink you take. They have to do with your blood pressure. Number three is certain medications, like I said too. So you don't just delight in over-the-counter drugs. Just go to chemist, give me this, give me that, give me that. When did you become the doctor of yourself? So you want to watch the medications you take. Physical condition could actually contribute also. Stress. Yes. Stress also contributes to blood pressure. These are the things that affect your blood pressure. The food you take, the drugs you take, the condition of your body, physical condition, stress, the amount of stress you are exposed to, and also the time of the day, to mention but a few. So knowing fully well that hypertension is dangerous to the body, hypotension, the extreme one, could also pose threat to the body, especially when it's already involving shock, when it's already getting to anemia, the blood is low, or the red blood cell is low, or it's not synthesizing, all those kind of things, then you really need to be serious with it. You really need to be serious with it, okay? So I'm just going to be taking you through some foods you can actually take to boost your vitamin B12, your folate, and your iron, because what you take can really matters. Okay, so if you are feeding on foods that are, these three compounds are well represented, then your blood volume is good to go. And don't forget to drink plenty of water. Yes, I mentioned dehydration. So you look at your environment, look at the weather around you, drink water. 2 liters in a day is very good for adults. So I'm not saying you should take 4 liters. You don't wash away the soluble solvents in your body, but then you need to systemize, plan. How do I take 2 liters? Okay, if I wake up, can I take 50 cl? After breakfast I take 50 cl, after lunch I take 50 cl, after dinner I take another 50 cl, and with that you find yourself drinking about 2 liters in a day. So don't say, I don't like drinking water. Yes, you've got to drink water. I know there's water in that rice. Of course, you cooked your rice with water. There's rice in your soup, there's rice in your beans, but we also have to drink the H2O. Okay, so try to drink water 1.5 to 2 liters in a day. That is brilliant for adults. You see people fainting a lot in severe hot weather conditions, and most of the times is as a result of dehydration, because they are dehydrated, and then the blood pressure drops, and then you see people just fainting when the weather is really hot. So if you are in Europe, it's getting to summer, prepare your mind to drink water, prepare your smoothies by yourself. Okay, so you get the fruits together. Low carbs fruits, they are fruits that are low in carbohydrates, like apple, like blueberries, raspberries. Get different types of berries with apples, blend together, prepare your smoothies yourself. Okay, this way you ensure that you are able to account for your sugar intake. You'll be able to account for everything you take, your salt, your sugar, your fat intake, when you prepare your meals by yourself. So instead of saying, okay, let me go and buy that fruit juice, you could actually get the fruit yourself too. Okay, I love apple, berries, pineapple, banana. You mix them together, you blend yourself. So like I said, drinking lots of water will help with hypotension. Low carb fruits too, like apples, berries, blend them together, prepare your smoothie. Unsweetened dairy products, yes, like unsweetened Greek yogurt. So you could just put your berries, slice your berries, slice your pineapples, whatsoever you like, fruits, put them in your yogurt. Or you could even put nuts. Yes, it could be walnuts, it could be hazelnuts, brazil nuts. You could put them in your unsweetened, don't forget the word unsweetened, in your unsweetened Greek yogurt. So like I said, foods that are high in vitamin B12 help with the blood, like egg, like red meats, milk products, like I said, cheese. Yes, cottage cheese. Then fortified breakfast cereals, they are very good. Olive oil too, like I used to say, olive oil, they are good. They contain unsaturated fats, so they will help to flush the saturated fats to the liver for disposal. So olive oil, vegetable oil, corn oil, canola oil, feed on good oils, unsaturated oils that are rich in unsaturated fatty acids. Fruits high in folate and iron too, they help with the blood, like dark leafy green vegetables. Is it spinach? Is it kale? Broccolis too. Broccolis, they are very good for the body. Nuts generally, brazil nut, hazelnut, walnut, pecan nut, cashew nut. You could just mix together in a plastic, maybe 2 or 3 of them, and then you snack on them instead of snacking on biscuits and cookies and candies, to mention but a few. Beans too. Then we have eggs, like I said, dairy products, meat, poultry, chicken and turkey, seafoods, yes, mackerel, abacore, tuna. No, these fish that are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, like mackerel, like sardine, okay, like salmon, that are rich in omega-3 fatty acids. You could go for them. And whole grains. Whole grains means that the bran has not been taken away. No, they blended everything complete with the bran, with the covering. Okay, it is all like wheat. Now they don't say let me sieve the shell from the, no, 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 they blend everything like your corn. Now they blend everything. They don't say let me wash away the yellow parts. Okay, so all grains too, they are very rich for the body. So you want to feed on them in order to boost your iron, your folate, and your vitamin B12. And please don't forget to get in touch with your doctor too if you are battling with low blood pressure. Okay, that's where you'll be able to know which test you are to do and what is actually responsible, because some people, it could just be dehydration, and if it is dehydration, all you need is to take more water. Take water, take smoothie, take water, take more smoothie, and you are good to go. But for some, it could be low iron, you understand, it could be low folate, it could be low vitamin B12. So you really need to get in touch with your doctor, let him know what you are passing through and what is passing through you. Okay. And if you want to boost your naturally, like I said, then you go for foods rich in vitamin B12, in folate, and in iron. Thank you so much for coming around. I hope you've gained one or two things. Don't forget to share this video with a friend. You might just be helping a friend. Okay, so don't forget to share with a friend. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to leave your comments with me if you have questions, and don't forget to press the subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell so that anytime I upload, you could get updated. Thank you so much for your time. See you soon. Thanks for coming around. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye. Thank you.